Grand Rising to my tribe. You know the vibe. Start with our deep breath real quick, y'all, so we get our body, mind, soul, and our energy aligned. Let's get it. Praise to the Most High. Alright, so look, y'all. I don't really know what to call this video, but it'll obviously have a title by the time you see it, so whatever it say when you clicked on it is what it is. Basically, I'm gonna give y'all a timeline for what's happened so far ever since my journey from breaking up with the child to my, or from breaking up with the mother to my child. Just to get everybody caught up, for everybody that's new to my channel, for anybody that may have any confusion because they came late, or even if y'all saw everything from the beginning but y'all just a little bit confused. I'm gonna give y'all a quick breakdown month to month real quick on what's been happening in my journey so far. I'm not gonna go into detail because I don't choose for this video to be so long. Alright, let's get into it. So let's start back in August of last year, so basically almost a year ago. August last year, everything was going great. Everything was amazing, and I'm giving y'all my perspective. All right, I want y'all to understand this. This is my perspective on everything, and this is my journey. So I'm giving you my journey and my perspective on what's happened so far. But that don't mean I'm about to lie about anything either, because people like to say stuff like that in order to justify and cover up bending the truth or lying. I'm not about that. So August last year, everything seemed like it was perfect. It seemed like it was just some stagnation with us making money, to be honest, with YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And I remember going to her being like, yo, I feel so stagnant. Like I need to do something. Like my soul, like it's so deep, it's in my soul. Like I need to do something in order to like remove this stagnation type shit, you feel me? So basically I started thinking about getting my hair cut to remove a bunch of old energy, because I was growing my hair out for like 2-3 years already, right? So I ended up never doing that. But about a week later, I remember being in the car with her and Naya, driving to a restaurant, and me saying, look, we about to get it, we about to go hard, we about to shut everything, everybody out, all distractions, limit everything. We about to go stupid, like. And I remember having this deep talk with her, like, yo, are you ready? And she was like, yeah. And there was fear involved, but she still said yeah, right? So then 2 weeks later, no, a week later, it's like September 5th. September 6th, and we get into a small argument. The argument leads to us not talking for a few days. I break up with her, and so even though we weren't talking, I still felt like, you know, I loved this person, and I was doing stuff, I was planning stuff for her birthday, all type of shit, even though it was like months away. And when I go to talk to her, there was a lot of unwanted energy. You get what I'm saying? There was a lot of stuff that just wasn't wanted during that conversation, if that makes sense to y'all, you feel me? So it ended up being an argument, and within the heat of the argument, I broke up with her instantly. I'm like bro, I swear on my soul, I swear to God, I mean instantly, when I said it's over, I felt like I don't even know how to explain it, bro. Like the relief I felt in my heart and in my body. My bad, it's all types of mosquitoes right here. The relief I felt in my heart and in my body, bro, like it felt amazing. But my mind immediately rejected it. Like, no, I don't want to really be single. I don't want to really break up with her. Like, it feel good in my body, but nah, I don't want that. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, that's how it felt. And so basically, a week goes by, I'm like, I still want to be with this person. I want to be with this person forever. I want to build with this person. I want to do all of this shit, right? And so basically, I'm like, look, I give you a week to think about it. Let me know this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. A week go by. She like, yeah, I don't want to be with you. Da-da-da-da, this, that, and the third. I'm like, all right. I fell into a depression, bro. So all the way up till, what, the end of September? For a few weeks, I fell into a depression. My bad, I'm moving so much because there's so many bugs out here, bro. But I fell into a depression. I was neglecting myself. I was neglecting my daughter, Janaya. I was neglecting my daughter. I was neglecting myself. I was neglecting life, bro. Like, honestly, for a long time, I felt like the mother to my child was my purpose. And that shit is sad as fuck, to be honest. But, so basically, I fell into a slump. Towards the end of the month, I got up out of that shit. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna start over from scratch. I'm starting over from the fucking beginning. We're not together. I ain't got the channel. I gave the channel to her at that time. All of that shit. So I'm like, I'm starting over from scratch, bro. I got up, I got 2 9-to-5 jobs serving at this place called Black Bear Diner and another place called IHOP. And I was serving, like I was dead ass serving, bro. And then after like 3 weeks, I'm like, man, I don't want to be doing this shit, man. Like, I want to be doing something where I can make more money faster and easier, and where I ain't gotta associate with people. Cause honestly, like, I'm an extrovert, but I'm an introvert. Like, I don't know how to really explain it. Like, eventually I started doing Uber Eats. Towards the end of October, I started doing Uber Eats. And so October, November, I'm doing Uber Eats. I ended up getting my hair cut as well, you know, to remove all negative energy on October 6th, 2021 last year. It was the night of it was the day of a new moon. So I set new intentions with that day, and I got my hair cut that day. And then October, November going by, I'm doing Uber Eats. I'm studying real estate. I'm getting into that type of shit. I'm buying the LLC for that shit. And we still living together. And so, like I said, y'all, so many bugs over here. I feel like a crackhead the way I keep moving around. But we still living together. And so I'm observing a lot of different things and a lot of different actions. Mind you, a lot of things that were going on was still couple type shit. So psychologically, that's confusing. Straightforward, I know what it is. But it's like being together from the age of 17 to 28, that shit, it ain't cool. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's a lot of manipulation going on. And so I started speaking less, and I just started watching more. And the more I did that, the more things started to happen. When I realized, I'm like, how are more things happening, more arguments happening when I'm speaking less? That don't make no sense to me. So that, to me, is just true colors, right, coming out. So, and this is not to bash, like I said, this is literally to give y'all a timeline of my events. Moving on, come December, that's when the altercation happened. Physical altercation happened between us. Got my shit leaked, got my eye black, all of that. I left with my daughter for 2 days, brought her back to her mom. Time went by, I ain't see her for 3 months. The next month in January, I ended up getting evicted. There was a lot of shady shit going on with her and some dude that she was talking to in the same complex. And so stuff happened with that and his girlfriend and the leasing office and all type of shit happened with that. Ain't gonna go into detail. Ended up getting evicted because I was found as a threat to the community. Yeah, ended up getting evicted. And then I flew to New Jersey. Flew to New Jersey to go to my mom's house. And I was like, you know what? Even though we don't have a good relationship, even though I don't want to be there, even though I literally resent her, I'm going to go there and I'm going to try and I'm going to work. I'm going to get my license together. I'm going to do what I got to do for myself and for my daughter, right? Came here for 2 weeks, did nothing but smoke my ass off. I was hurt, I was fucked up mentally, I was depressed, I was away from my daughter. All the jobs I was trying to get wasn't working. For example, I'm like, all right, let me get a high paying job. I'm gonna get a $20 an hour job from fucking Amazon. No Amazon nearby. And the one that was nearby wasn't fucking hiring. All type of shit like that. It was just a lot of shit going on. And eventually, my soul felt the need to go back to Houston. And so I'm like, you know what? On top of the need to go back to Houston, on top of feeling like I need to be closer to my daughter, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Honestly, I'd rather be homeless living in my storage unit. Literally, I'd rather be homeless living in that shit than living in my mom's house. I swear to God, that's how I felt. Because that's how the energy was, that's how the vibrations were, that's how the frequency was, you feel me? And that's what I would have rather at that time. And honestly, it paid off for me, it helped me. Because at the end of the day, I ain't got no problem taking the harder way. I ain't got no problem taking the harder route. I ain't got no problem going and getting it out the mud by my fucking self, because I done it plenty of times before. So now it's February. I got evicted a few weeks ago in January. I went to my mom's house. Now it's February. It's like February 10th or 11th. I fly back to Houston. Now I'm homeless. Now I'm living in my storage unit. I'm living in there from February, March, all the way up to April. So I'm in there for about 2.5 months in my storage unit. I was homeless for about 2.5 months. Then I started doing a lot of things, started praying, started meditating even more on specific things that I desired and what I wanted to do with my life as far as my career and shit like that outside of YouTube. And I was doing Uber Eats. I was working my ass off doing Uber Eats in Houston too. So there were some times where I was actually able to sleep in the car, which I never really mentioned, but I was able to sleep in the car and my storage unit at times. Like I said, that's February and March, also the first week of April. In April, that's when the opportunity for me opened up to go out to LA. And so eventually I took that. I flew out there on April 8th. And from April to May, I was out there back and forth. Y'all saw I came back, well, I went back to Houston twice. The first time for to handle some business and get a haircut so I could go back to LA to handle some things, handle some business, because my bank that I have is not in LA. It's only in Houston and like basically the deep south. Yesterday's video basically explained what happened in May and June as far as, you know, the reason I left Houston. I mean, as far as the reason I left LA. And so where am I at now? I went back to Houston again for my daughter's birthday. That's what I didn't mention in yesterday's video. I went back to Houston again for my daughter's birthday. So I was there for a few days. After her birthday, I never went back to LA because yesterday's video explained the reason why. So I never went back to LA from going to Houston for my daughter's birthday. I then flew straight from Houston here to New Jersey. And now I'm back at my mom's house, the place that I didn't want to be, the energy I didn't want to be in, the person I honestly didn't want to be around. And I know a lot of people are sitting here saying, you know what, why is his relationship with his mom so bad, is that and the third? And honestly, that's going to take a whole nother video. I'll be letting y'all know in the next video the biggest reason for me coming here, because at the end of the day, like I will mention again in that video, I never had to come here. I could have stayed in Houston. I could have went to New York, because I actually had a friend. Now the living situation wouldn't have been the best, but I had a person, I ain't gonna say a friend, but I had a person there that was willing to allow me to stay with them, you know, as far as me paying rent and shit like that. I also had a third option to stay in LA. The second option that I had, the other house that y'all know about that I was living in, he's actually out of town on business right now, so that wasn't an option. But I actually had a third option as far as being in LA as well. I could have went back to Houston, all type of shit. There was definitely a specific reason that I chose to come here. The way that the universe works, the universe made sure that everything was aligned for me, and everything just felt like it was supposed to happen this way. So I'm gonna let y'all know in the next video, like I said, the biggest reason I came back to my mom's house in New Jersey.